He was definitely my number one guy. I even had a phone case with a picture of him on it.
Too sappy for me. Oh gosh.
And on this album, I don't really find that there's too much that I can imagine would be a moshing song at a concert.
It was midnight and I had to sleep, but I wanted to make sure that this album is my vibe because I was so hooked by the songs they already released.
Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the Longplayers Club. This week we are discussing the albums How Did I Get Here by Louis Tomlinson and Fearless Nature by Kid Kapichi. In this episode, we deep dive into the tracks that you're going to hear in each album and our thoughts about them, as well as we talk a little bit about the music of falling in love and what does that sound like. I hope you enjoy the episode and thanks for supporting. And we are live with our first ever intended for public consumption episode of the Long Players Club. Hello, everybody. Hello, Isa. How are
Hello.
you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine. I waited so long the last weeks for this record, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
very hyped to talk about this
This is
in
an
this
exciting
episode to
day.
you. Yeah,
And I have to tell
exciting.
you, we've been generating some buzz. I met with a few friends over the past couple of weeks, and I've had quite a few people say, what's this about a podcast? So hopefully all those people are listening. And if you are, hello, and thank you for your support. And we hope you enjoy the episode, and I hope everyone's listening along with us. Yeah, so I guess we can start with what have you been up to this week? What's going on musically for you?
Yeah, musically there was a lot of listening, but besides that, I have a very interesting fact. It was popping up in my Instagram because I'm following Depeche Mode and also the Fontaine's DC newsletter popped in and I see they attended to be part of a charity album. It's called Help 2 and I figured out there was a compilation in 1995, the first episode of Help. Yeah, Warchild Records
Yeah, okay.
released it, British music scene
Yeah, was that
during
the
the
AIDS? The
I think it was because of the Eastern War of Europe, Bosnia, Serbia, and stuff. And yeah, I think that's a good upcoming next album to
what
get a
charity
listen
are
to.
they what charity are they supporting? Is it Palestine?
No, I think actually now I'm not sure. Maybe Palestine or yeah,
I mean,
I guess.
Fontaine's has been extremely vocal about their support for Palestine, so I wouldn't be surprised, but okay, interesting, cool,
Yeah,
cool, yeah.
but I think it's kind of more like a playlist, a compilation album. And
Mm.
I see that Fontaine's are doing a cover of Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm very curious to get into this good thing. I think it's important to make energy going together because of all this weird stuff are going out in the
Yeah,
world, and
yeah,
the power you have as a musician is your creativity, your outreach,
yeah.
and it's important to stick together these times.
Cool. I mean, they're definitely a band that it seems like they, put their money where their mouth is, and they're not just kind of playing lip service on Instagram. It seems like they're actually quite involved in the causes that they're supporting or championing. So cool, good for them. I've
Yeah.
also been listening to an Irish band this week. I didn't even know they were Irish. It's a band called Inhaler. I keep getting them on my
Mm.
Spotify suggestions. And after hearing a couple of the songs, I was like, hey, I'm going to give it a shot. And I was listening and yeah, they're pretty good. So that might be an upcoming recommendation for you. But what's really
Nice.
stuck out with me this week, what's been my absolute earworm and I cannot stop playing, is a song called Sideways by a band called Baloo Brigada. And
Mm.
they're a Kiwi band. So they're from New Zealand. And it's just super happy and cute. And I ended up then listening to the album that it's on, which is also cool. It's very, a little psychedelic, a little Tame Impala. I don't know why everything that comes out of Australia, New Zealand sounds like Tame Impala to me, but maybe they're just so heavily influenced by their biggest breakthrough star in the last few years. But it's quite cool. And I saw that they are actually playing in Cologne in, I want to say April or March. So that's on my concert watch list. And we're gonna see this follow this space. So let's see how my interest in this band grows. But the song itself is really cool, really catchy, and I encourage you all to listen to it this week.
Yeah, nice. You sent me over a song,
I
right?
did
I
send it to
listened to
you.
it
That's the one I
once.
sent to you. Did
Yeah,
you like it?
yeah. Yeah, I listened to it one time. I liked it. Yeah, it's smooth and easy,
Easy
but I
listening.
didn't had a deeper listen yet. But Inhaler sounds very familiar to me. I will wonder if
I
I
might
have
have
it
already
also in my
it's probably something that you've heard too. I might even have
yeah,
sent you a song before because it's been the last few months that I'm getting recommendations from them every now and then. But
yeah.
there's one called My Honest Face that I think is my favorite one that I've heard, but there's another one called Billy, yeah, 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 or something like that. That's also pretty good. Those are the only two names I remember, but eh, good listening.
Nice. Let's
It's easy.
see.
You might like
But
it.
are they attending in All Points East also? I think it sounds so
Oh, are they?
familiar.
Oh, I don't know. That
I'm
would
not
be cool.
sure. I will check. Wait.
That would be neat. I would be down to see them. The only thing that really stuck out is when I went to the Spotify page, the one guy in the band looks so much like Timothy Chalamet in like young Timothy,
Really?
that like young Timothy Chalamet, like Call Me by Your Name, Timothy. And I'm like, oh, okay. And for a second there, I thought it was him, and then I was like, oh no, this is an Irish band. This is this is not him. Uh,
Oh, no, I was wrong. It's just
okay.
Wonder Horse and Dead Pony and Leap. Leap
I
was a
thought
band
about
that
horses.
was
Okay. Dead
yeah.
ponies, Wonder
Okay.
Horse.
But
Sure.
there are
Cool.
chances to see them live somewhere.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they're in Europe, right? Gotta love being in Europe. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Did you have any specific songs that you were listening to this week other than the two albums that we're going to be talking about?
No, not really. But I have an earworm of the day.
Mm-hmm.
This is a song title similar to one we listen to later, but it's from another band. It's
Okay.
from Circle Waves, Lemonade. They also have a song called Lemonade,
Mm-hmm.
and this was on my mind today. I think Louis' song is influencing this earworm, but yeah,
Maybe.
I woke up with it.
Ugh,
Yeah,
love some Circle Waves. I was so into them the last few weeks. Like their cover of There She Goes from the La La La's, La La La's, La
yeah,
La's. Not sure how many laws are in there. So good. I can't stop listening to it. It's just like so nostalgic and cute, and I love it. So that got me really back into Circle Waves. And I think they're a really special band. They're very like they're classic British indie pop rock when I think about that. I love it. So I'm so
yeah,
grateful for
nice.
that recommendation you gave me.
Okay,
Okay, so then I guess something else I've been listening to kind of off the back of the recommendation that I gave, which was Louis Tomlinson's How Did I Get Here? Obviously, I've been going back and listening to the One Direction members' solo albums the past couple weeks. Yeah, so maybe just a bit to present this. I was a little late to the One Direction game. I mean, I guess I wasn't late, but I was never as big as a fan of some of my friends were. And but once I got into them, yeah, I got into them. It's pop music. Like, love it or hate it, sure, whatever. You have to admit it's catchy. Yeah, not every song is deep. Not every song has good lyrics. Like some of the melodies are pretty simple and it's just repetitive, but it's fun. It's fun to dance to. It's fun to sing along to, and especially when your friends are into it as well. Just a good time. So I loved One Direction. I really loved One Direction. And at first, I wouldn't say Louis was my favorite, but by the end of, my interest in the band, he was definitely my number 1 guy. I even had a phone case with a picture of him on it, and I was, yeah, quite a big fan. So, his solo career hasn't been maybe as successful as the other former members. Obviously, Harry Styles, I would say, has had the most success after the band, split up. Then I would say it's probably Zayn, just because even though Zayn doesn't perform due to his anxiety, he his albums have been extremely successful and everyone like really loves his music and his voice is so incredible. And also he was so popular like, with his relationship with Gigi Hadid and stuff, so he was really more in the zeitgeist, I guess, than Niall and Louis and of course Liam. But I think this album is positioning Louis maybe to kind of have another rise, and I hope so. This is his 3rd solo album, I believe, and this is by far my favorite of his solo albums so far. So I was excited to see where it was gonna go. I know he's also playing in Cologne in either April or March, and I was already kind of thinking about going. So I was kind of had some motivation to recommend this album that I wanted to see if I would like it and maybe get you interested so you would want to come with me to the concert. Yeah, so I'm really happy with how the album was. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I really like it. And yeah, I'm excited to hear how you, as a non One Direction fan, felt about it. So maybe before I, give my biased take, let's hear yours. Because I wanted to like this album. I went in wanting to
Yeah.
like it, and I'm happy to say that I do. But
Yeah,
what about
cool.
you?
Yeah, my first impression was, yeah, I had no idea of who is he. I have not read anything about him or One Direction before. I was
Well,
not
did you
really
not listen to
also
One Direction?
no. I'm also not familiar with the songs. I think if you will start singing one, I
You
will
know some
recognize
of them.
one, but
That's what makes you beautiful. Na 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 na. Na.
yeah, yeah, sure. But how old were you as they were popular? It's not that teenage band. It came later,
They're the same
right?
age as us. They're basically
Oh,
the same
okay.
age as us. So I was in university when they
Okay, yeah, it was
started
way
out,
later.
and
It's not the Tokyo Hotel.
no, no, they weren't like my teen. I never really had that. Like when I was a teenager, I was super into the Killers and Modest Mouse. I was
Yeah,
not really into like
yeah.
boy
Boy
bands,
bands,
but
yeah.
it
Okay.
was when I
Yeah,
was a bit
so
older.
yeah. I had no idea who One Direction is except Harry Styles. And I know Harry Styles and his music, of course. And I was, yeah, kind of open. I just had a look at his person through a picture, and I think that he's the rough guy in the band, like the bad
You
boy,
think?
maybe.
No,
Yeah,
Zayn is the
maybe.
bad boy. Zayn is the
Okay,
bad
there was
boy.
a
Yeah.
better bad boy.
Well, unfortunately, like that was the image I feel like was that
Yeah.
Zayn was supposed to be kind of like the brooding, more like, kind of the bad boy guy. But unfortunately, it ended up being that Liam was the one who like struggled the most. And
Mm,
that's why he's no
yeah.
longer alive, unfortunately. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but Louis also had some
Sure.
really hard times. His mom died, his siblings died. Like he's really had a lot of loss. So he
Oh,
has also had quite a challenging life. But yeah. But on happier topics,
crazy. Yeah,
yeah, okay,
heavy
so One Direction
topics,
was not
but
really a thing.
heavy topics for this guy, but he keeps the poppy, good mood, sunny, shiny
Yeah,
side
well,
alive.
you don't really like pop, do you? If you had to say, like, what pop music do you I mean, Jessie Ware, I guess that's pop,
Yeah,
but
Jessie Ware. And also, I don't think it's pop, but Sophie Tucker is more like
that's not
electronic and
pop, that's
house.
electronic,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have any pop genre musicians I really
You
admire.
like Christina Aguilera, that's pop.
Yeah, back in the days.
Okay, okay, I
I
see.
had a few
Gotcha.
songs.
Alright, alright.
Yeah. Yeah, but my first impression was very, very nice because I was like an how do you say a blank page. I had
Mhm.
no idea, and I was keen to get into it, and I was so open minded, and it felt easier because it's also a guy doing pop music. Maybe that's a
Yeah,
way
your
that's
your
working for
internal
me.
misogyny, of course, forgot, I have to call that out.
And yeah, I also hear that something is rougher in this album. I had a few listens to a few songs in the past albums, and I think you can really hear the change. But yeah, this is just my first impression. And before we start into it to get deeper, I found such a funny comment on YouTube
Really?
which said it was below the Lemonade album, and it was a girl saying, "One day he will release punk music and realize it's his calling." And after
Interesting.
I read this comment, the whole album sounds different to me. I think maybe she's got a good point.
Okay, interesting. So you keep mentioning Lemonade. Is this the song that you like the most from the album?
No.
No. Okay. What
No,
do you like the most?
I just watched the videos to
I
get
didn't
an
even watch any
idea
of the
of
music
his
videos. Oh no, I didn't even check them out. Which ones had videos? Which ones did you watch?
Lemonade and Imposter, just two, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think to watch music videos. I also didn't watch any videos for the other album we're going to talk about, but okay,
Don't
cool,
worry.
cool. How did you Okay, as well, you wanted to talk a little bit about the design element. How do you like stylistically the videos?
It's nice because the Lemonade album is more, you can really see it's nostalgic and more
Okay.
artsy because they are yellow people jumping around and yeah, a little bit funny.
Okay, maybe I
So
gotta check this
I
out
liked
then.
it a lot. And I think also the format is not the widescreen format, more the 3 to 4
Is that
smaller,
the,
narrow.
like, phone screen format?
Yeah,
Okay.
not the bigger phone screen, not the wider phone screen, the middle part, the square, you can
Yeah,
say.
okay,
So
okay.
I think it's a consistent thing. And yeah, the imposter video was more storytelling. You can
Hmm.
see, I don't know if it's really his family. You can see a family and a guy struggling with his relationship and seeing him in different situations. And afterwards, Louis is showing up also. And I was wondering if it's his family actually. But as you said, he's lost so
He has an
siblings
interesting
and
family, like, I don't know exactly. I might be wrong, but I feel like he had a blended family. I think he had quite a few
Mhm.
step-siblings. I know he had, like, there were twins. I think there was, like, 5 kids plus him, and then his mom and his stepfather, and
yeah,
yeah, so he
maybe
had a
they
really big
also
family.
they look a little bit familiar, but you can have a look into it. I think it's a nice nice video, and it reminds me a little bit of one Kid Kapichi scene, which is yeah, the song lyrics could also fit into this music video.
Which song?
Patience.
Oh, okay.
There's a scene in this video of Imposter where yeah, they're sitting around the table and you really can see that one person is zooming out of the situation, and it's the
The
same topic
Imposter?
that was talking about in Patience.
Okay, interesting. I gotta check the videos out then. Well, I've clearly not been well prepared for this, but that's alright.
Yeah, all
Okay,
fine.
what was your favorite song? Tell me what
Woo!
did you what was the first one that, I guess, stuck with you, and did that end up being your favorite, or what tracks stood out? What do you like?
It's hard to say because it's different when you're not hooked into a genre. It was harder for me. No, it was different. It is easy to get into a pop album because it's not
Yeah.
uncomfortable. So it's very easy, it's flowing, it's steady, and that's fine. But I really had to pay attention. This was the harder part. I really want to admire it and get into it and actively listening to it. So it took me a while. So I put it on a few times and listened to it, and it's all good, all fine. And afterwards, there are a few songs that stuck out. And it was like the lower part of the album. So the first
Mm.
songs were quite okay. A few didn't like so much, but after the peak, it works for me. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think Imposter, although it was the single that was put out before the album was released, Imposter is a good
Mhm.
song I can relate with. I think the topic is
Are
very
you an
funny in a way.
imposter? Why's that?
It is it's like he's saying he's lying in bed, he don't want to wake up, it's a dream. And I also thought I'm always dreaming about musician and
That's
concerts,
true,
and
yeah.
also I feel like maybe do I'm a imposter because I dream of that and I don't want to wake up from these dreams because the dreams are so good. And I think you
Your
had the
real
same
life is the
experience.
imposter, huh?
Yeah, you had an experience with the Brandon Flowers hand kiss, right?
I know, that was
Maybe
amazing.
you woke up also like being an imposter.
I have been having the most insane dreams. I have to tell you one. I had a dream the other night that I was waiting in line to go to Berghain in Berlin with Niels,
Wow.
and we didn't get let in. They were like, "Obviously, yeah, you guys are not cool enough." And we were like, "Okay." And then we're turning around, and then Neil's mom is in the club, and she comes out and she goes, "No, no, she can come in." And then so I get to go in, but Niels does not because his mom is teaching like a burlesque dance class in the club.
Ooh.
So I'm in her class and I was like, what on earth is this dream? Where did
Ooh.
this come from? And it was so vivid. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, why did we do this? Like, why can we buy this house? So I've been having very weird, vivid dreams lately. But no,
Yeah.
unfortunately, Bread and Flowers has not made another appearance in any of my dreams recently.
So bad.
Maybe
But
later. Maybe
yeah.
tonight. We'll see. Mhm. Okay,
So
so Imposter.
Imposter really sticks out to me, yeah, definitely. But there are also two other songs I rated higher than the others. I think let's make a go through the album track list. So Lemonade, really
I have
easygoing
to look at
entry
this
into the
then.
album, that's good. On
Yeah.
Fire is not working for me so much.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, and Sunflowers and Lazy, they're pretty similar. And here I
Found so
found an
too.
interesting detail because the transition to the next track is super smooth in the way it works because
Mm.
the Sunflowers also got the,
Hmm.
and you start with these la 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 in Lazy, and this
Yeah.
is good. This is a good
Okay,
one.
cool. So another fun fact, One Direction fans are insane, like really insane, and they write like really weird fan fiction a lot. Actually, there's some like famous lore with the fan fiction of One Direction fans. And I don't know, have you ever come across this in the bands that you like? That the fans write these often erotic, weird, made up stories about the bands? No? No,
No.
okay, well, so there's a couple of very famous ones in the One Direction world. One is that a girl has been sold to One Direction by her drug addict mother, which is pretty much the most famous one, which is very funny. There's even, like, YouTube videos of people acting it out with, like, the dolls and stuff because they had action figures, obviously. It's I'm not gonna go into it, but yeah, look it up one day. It's very funny. And another big thing they always talk about is that Harry and Louis were secretly in love with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So Louis has a song now on the album called Sunflower. And on
Mm-hmm.
Harry's last album, oh no, not his last one. On his one of his albums, there's a song called Sunflower, like Volume 6 or something like that. So obviously all those little freaks are now writing like their fan fiction and being like, this is a sign that they both have a song called Sunflower.
Yeah.
I really liked that song. I thought Sunflower was really cute. So this is actually one of my favorite
Yeah.
ones.
They're having,
I've never written fan fiction for the record, and I've also actually never fully read it. I've just heard the famous ones, but yeah. But anyways, that stuck out to me. I was like, "Oh, what are they saying about that?"
crazy.
I had to go on Reddit to find out what they were saying about that because I noticed it. The coincidence.
But all these side topics are just in, yeah, popular music genres. It would never exist for Modest Mouse or
I mean,
Kid
it probably
Kapichi.
does. No, the Modest Mouse
Really?
fans are also freaks. Like they're no,
Yeah.
they're losers. They're not writing like stuff like this. They're just the Reddit for the Modest Mouse fans is such a circle jerk. It's all people just being like, "Oh man, like here's me playing a cover," and everyone being like, "Fuck yeah, that's great. Here's me playing a cover." Or it's being like,
Oh, yeah.
"What do you guys
Okay.
think? Do you guys think Isaac is like the best songwriter of all time?" And everyone be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, yeah, for sure, definitely top 10." And it's like, yeah, in the Modest Mouse fan Reddit, you're gonna find people agreeing with you. Like there's nothing controversial. Yeah, anyways.
Okay.
Okay. Fan fiction aside.
Crazy.
Okay, so Sunflower. After Sunflower, we got Lazy. I didn't really like Lazy. I thought it sounded lazy, to be honest. Um, I don't really like the bridge where he goes like, "Got me feeling lazy." I don't like that
Hmm.
run. So that one I skip quite a bit. But then we go into the
You
next song.
skipped.
Yeah, I skipped something. Oh, and I mean, sorry, we listen and we
I
don't
also
skip.
have a.
Oh god,
I have.
oh god.
I have also a big song I skipped. I have
I'm
to
gonna have to
skip
cut
it.
that out. We're gonna have to cut that
Yeah, yeah.
out.
We have to. Okay, but we want to be honest.
Yeah, we're gonna be
I
honest.
paid attention first, and then
Exactly.
after I figured out, I have
Yeah.
to say, "Oh gosh, no, it's hurting my head." So
I've listened to it enough that I can skip it now. But I
yeah,
hope the next song isn't the one that you skipped because Palaces is without a doubt my favorite song of the album. I love it. It is so catchy. This is the first song I heard before the album was released. It was also a single, I guess. And I was obsessed with it, immediately downloaded it, and I've been running to it all week, and I absolutely love it. This is my favorite one.
yeah.
So, is this your skip one?
No, no, no.
Thank
It's the
God.
first. It's the first song where you can see the shift in this album. I think
Yeah?
here it
Okay.
was easier for me to hear his punk rock within, his punk rocker within,
Maybe.
and it's a little bit more energy, more cheekier, and a little bit like it reminds me of the early 2000s skate punk vibes in a way. I don't know
Okay.
why I had this feeling with the song. I didn't skip it, but it's not my favorite song. It's a
Okay.
good song.
That's fine. That's my favorite one. Last night, I can't not even think about how this sounds.
Not
This one
bad,
obviously was not that
but
interesting to me. I don't know.
I also said that it's not so memorable for me.
Yeah.
So
Broken Bones was okay. I think I also didn't really like that one that much. Like, can
yeah,
listen to it, but it didn't really
I
stand out.
agree.
Same
Was
with
the
Dark to
same for
Light.
me.
I didn't find anything spectacular about Dark to Light. It was okay. Do you have any thoughts on that one?
Yeah. Skip.
That's the skip? Okay. All right,
Oh
here
my
we
god,
go.
it was so too sappy for me. Oh gosh, I don't
I'm
like
gonna have
this
to
is
listen
the
to this
pop
again.
this is the pop music I dislike really. It was like
Mm,
he was singing about he was wishing that you can have a look through my eyes how I see you in my eyes and oh my gosh, it's so sappy. Oh no.
okay. Okay.
It's I've also wondered why it was yeah, between Broken Bones and Imposter. It's a kind of ballad, right? And it's so super slow and
He
I
is
don't
not
know.
good for ballads, I will say. He does not have the voice for a ballad. In One Direction, he never, ever got to sing the ballads. That was always Zayn or Liam that was singing it, or Harry, I guess. But yeah, honestly, Louis didn't actually sing that much in One Direction. He rarely got solos. And when
Okay.
he did, yeah, him and Niall had the least solos, I would say, but I even think Niall probably had more than he did. Yeah, there's only One Direction song that I can think of that is a really prominent Louis, and that's No Control, which is actually one of my favorite songs from One Direction. But he doesn't have the voice for a ballad, unfortunately, in my
Mm,
opinion.
yeah. Yeah, I don't get into the lyrics too much. Maybe it's a song where he processed a lot. That's fine. It's okay, but
Maybe.
I've wondered if it would better place better a little bit lower because after this Dark to Light, the album really started working for me because
Okay.
after this one, the
Only
album
four
gets really
songs
good.
left, but all right.
Yeah, but there I got a lot of red
You got a lot of
hearts.
value out of those four. Okay.
Yeah,
So you already said Imposter's your favorite. I
yeah,
also liked Imposter. I think that one's up there for me. That's definitely in the top 5 of the album. Sanity, I also cannot really think of anything spectacular about that one.
yeah,
But I love to Jump the Gun. That was my second
yeah,
favorite. That one is so good. I also
yeah.
immediately saved that one. So that one's great.
Overlap. So
Yeah.
for me too.
Amazing, rare, so rare. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Lucid, I also, yeah, nothing really spectacular to say about that.
Ah,
Did you
great.
like that one?
I have different thoughts. Yeah, but just jump back to Jump the Gun because
Yeah.
I also feel like this is the song where I can imagine attending on a concert because this is the
Hmm.
energy I want to experience live. I love the song. It's so high energetic and I love the power and also the yeah, punk rock vibes are getting back again and yeah, this is what I'm here for.
Nice. I
And
also love the
Lucid,
message of it too, because it's like, oh, I'm really into this person, but like, don't say it too fast. Don't get into it too fast. Like, don't jump the
yeah.
gun. Just like, I gotta be careful. And it reminds me of like when I started, yeah, like when Niels and I were dating, and we'd only been dating like a month. And I remember being like, oh no, like I think I love this guy. Like I can't tell him. It's way too soon. Like that's crazy. So I was so nervous. I'm like, oh God, I hope it doesn't like accidentally come out or something. And then luckily, like a week later, we both were like, are we both in love? Okay, okay, we're both on the same page. But there was definitely that week of me being like, oh God, like I can't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun. So it resonates with me. I like this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's
Lucid.
good. It's a good topic, and the energy is just fitting perfectly. Yeah, Lucid. I wonder why you say it's not sticking out for you to you so much because I think it's the perfect song to end this album. I think it's very epic. It's a strong closing track for this album, and it really shifts after I think 2 or 3 minutes, where the last minute is more like electronical and easier, and then
Hmm.
he's asking himself, "How did I get here?" And I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
perfect. It's a smooth fade
Yeah,
out
it's cool.
from the whole album, and I think this is where the concept
I
gets back
also
to the topic.
I love it when an album doesn't have any one song that has the name of the album. Like there's no titular song, but that in a song they reference it. So I do like
Yeah.
that he says, "How did I get here?" in that song. And I'm like, I always love that. So it feels like a little
Mm.
Easter egg. But yeah, okay. I remember I did like that part, hearing that song.
But did you get the final meaning of did I get here? What is going on?
Yeah,
How did he
I'm
get
gonna
here?
let me give you my interpretation of this. And again, to understand how did I get here, you have to understand One Direction, and you have to think about One Direction. Imagine you are 20 years old and you are a part of the biggest sensation in the world, even though people like Isabel don't know you, most people in the world do. So are so loved. It's like Beatlemania, people going absolutely crazy for you. And then it ends. And you see your colleagues or your best friends maybe you see some of them become they just continue being so popular and like continue seeing massive success. And you yourself aren't really experiencing that. Like you stay in this world and you start putting out albums that are, for the first time, you have your own control over your creative vision. You're able to, write about what you want to write about. And it's not this like formulaic thing that the studio is pumping out of you because they want to use you to make money. You, for the first time, get to actually be an artist. And the reception is nowhere near what you experienced, a year ago. And what you're seeing your friends and former bandmates currently still experiencing and their solo projects. How hard do you think that is? And then on top of it, your mom dies, and then your sibling dies, and then your former bandmate and best friend dies. Like, that is insane. How do you get there? How do you get from being just a normal guy living in like a lower class suburb in England somewhere to being the most famous person in the world or a part of the most famous band in the world to going back to being, yeah, a lot of people know my name, but no one really listens to, like, not a lot of people are listening to my music anymore. That must
Mhm.
mess with your head, Is it like, what did they want me for? If I can't do this on my own, then what was that all about? Right. And that must be so hard to reconcile. And then dealing with all of these personal issues at the same time. He also had a son during this time. Like, that must be so challenging, and how did I get here, I think is probably just stepping back and saying like, "Oh my god, what has my life been the last 10 years or the last whatever 12, 13 years? It's been so crazy." And I think, it's a reflection, and I think it's really interesting, and I don't know that the album tells that story 100%, but I think this album is poised to push him more into the spotlight. If that's what he wants, then I hope that's what's gonna happen because I think he's a good artist, and I think he's been through so much as a person from what I understand and what I've heard about him, that I hope taking more of a musical risk or so, or, pushing touring, I hope that it pays off because I remember one story that he's been the one who's been the most open about like how weird it is. I haven't heard many like stories or snippets about, but I'm also not like searching it out. So maybe they are talking about it. But from the other former members talking about like how difficult it is to go from that to what they are doing now solo. But just because Louis has probably had the least commercial success out of all the former members, I think he's been like, I know he's said in interviews before, like singing Night Changes, which is a One Direction song. He said, like, it's so weird when you sing that in front of a stadium, like the biggest stadiums in the world, and everyone's singing along. And then suddenly you're singing that to like 1,000 people or like 100 people or something in a smaller venue. And it's just so weird to be like, oh my God, yeah, what was that, a fever dream? Like, what even happened? So
Mm.
yeah, that's what I would take from the title, but I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts?
Yeah. Oh no, I don't have any other thoughts because I'm not into this whole gossip and stories and back
Sure. The
catalogs. So
lore, the One Direction lore.
I just asked myself because of the album cover, it
Ooh,
shows maybe him standing next to a car in front of a cornfield or something. Like it doesn't look like a regular parked car. And I was asking if he got there with the car by accident. So, like, yeah, having troubles getting out of control, running from the street, actually. So, yeah, this was
he's
just
going
my
off the beaten
imagination.
path, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's
Going off
saying.
the
He was,
path. Yeah.
he was so mainstream, and this has been him finding his way on his own path, maybe? Who
Yeah.
knows? Is
Yeah,
that
and
Isa's
I
graphic
think
design corner?
yeah, my graphic design corner. Yeah, I think it's a good nostalgic visual for this album
I
cover.
like the
But
colors, I have to say.
yeah, I like the colors, very summer. You can really see the mood of the songs in the colors. Good choice. But what are the letters doing? It's so narrow. Maybe the letters itself asking them, "Oh, how did I get here? It's so narrow." Oh gosh,
Okay,
my
the letters are
graphic
uncomfortable.
designer's eye are a little bit irritated by this capital letters, very narrow. That doesn't look like much space to breathe. But I think
Well, I'm
okay.
gonna give you another perspective because before I even knew this album was coming out, I saw a sign for the tour, and the tour has the same image. And I saw a poster just like on the street, and it was the colors that immediately caught me. And I
Yeah.
looked at the poster and I was like, Louis having an album. Cool, great, looking forward to it. And it was only because of this image that I
Yeah.
even knew, because I saw the poster and it made me go, oh, what's that? So I actually think it was
Yeah.
effective then as graphic design because
Yeah,
it caught
it
my
is.
eye.
It is. It's very catchy, warm colors, cloudy, a little bit clouds, blue sky. It's very, yeah, the concept is good. Concept you
Mhm.
transport also on the visual way, the mood in the songs. Yeah, I like it also a lot. It's very nostalgic, very
I agree. I
retro,
think it's
and
nostalgic. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
cool. Which I mean, is also makes sense. If he's asking himself, how did I get here and reflecting, then yeah, of course you're looking back in a way as well.
Yeah.
But okay,
But
cool.
I'm wondering, I just showed up, I just checked the plays, and I think Lemonade, they got 40 million plays already. I think he's not like, I get your point. He's not so famous like before, and not, he's more famous like the other small bands we listen to. But yeah, I think that's a good thing,
I'm going to
40
go
million
ahead right
streams.
now because Harry Styles also released a new song last week. And I'm going to go ahead and just take a quick look how many have listened to that. Yeah, 45 million.
Yeah,
So
okay,
Louis is still nowhere near Harry's
but
level.
do you have to compare them
You're
still?
right. You're
Because
right. I'm being a bit,
maybe
I shouldn't
maybe
compare.
Louis is more able to do his more authentic music, like he's
Yeah,
doing it from within and not like the production company
that's
says what
true.
to do.
And maybe he can connect more with his fans because the ones that are
Yeah,
listening are the ones that are, the
sure.
OGs, the real ones.
And they
Who
are
knows?
there for the music and not for other to watch other boys.
I mean, I'm there to watch him. He's handsome. I think he's
Yeah, okay.
gorgeous. What about you? I mean, you love the British boys. He looks so British. Are you into it?
Yeah, I asked myself this question because yeah, but no, I think there's something with his face that's not very attractive to me. It's
Not your
like
vibe?
too
Okay.
not my vibe. He's yeah, handsome but not too attractive for me.
What about Harry Styles?
He looks too regular.
What? Oh, he's so handsome. What
Yeah.
about Zayn? Zayn is so gorgeous.
I don't know any other of these members. I
Oh
hadn't
my
had
gosh.
a look
You
yet.
gotta look them up. They're all gorgeous. They're all gorgeous. But okay. I mean, that's probably why they were famous. But anyways, okay, so what are we adding to the playlist? Is it imposter then? Because usually we add, if it's an album I recommend, we add your favorite. But since we
Yeah.
both didn't know this album, yeah, let's go with that. We'll add your favorite. So your favorite's Imposter or
Yeah, I would say I would add imposter, but we had an
okay,
overlap and maybe you can make another
Jump the
choice.
Gun? Ooh,
Or
I'm
what
happy
would
with
you
that
add?
too. But no, Imposter. We're gonna go with we pick your favorite for the album I recommend, my favorite for the one that you
Yeah,
recommend.
okay. That's fair. Yeah.
Then
Okay.
speaking of the one you recommended, introduce us to Kid Kapichi, please.
Okay, wait. Going backwards? No. One final question.
Mm.
Would you see him live? Yeah, you
Hell
said, of
yeah!
course,
I'm waiting to
you're
buy those
very
tickets.
keen.
I'm gonna buy the tickets
But
as soon as we hang up.
I'm not sure if I had an idea because I like the album. It's nice to listen to. It's easygoing music. I can work through this music, so everything's good. And I like a few songs, but also I listened to the other songs he'd released before. I would give him a little bit more time to evolve, maybe the direction
Okay,
he's having from within, and maybe the next album he's there where I can really,
then you're ready to
yeah,
see him. Yeah,
where
then it's gonna
I'm
be too
going to be a fan.
expensive. Then he's gonna
Yeah,
have
okay.
more fans, and then it's gonna be a big stadium again. So
Okay, okay, fair
you gotta
enough.
catch him on the ground floor. See him now.
I would attend with you to go to the concert
Nice.
and I'm open for it, but I'm very curious to see his
His
career
evolution.
evolving.
All right, cool. I'll accept that. Oh, okay. Kid Kapichi. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about our fearless nature. They did it too because the album's called Fearless Nature, right? And they also mention it in a song, but there's no song with that title.
Yeah, there's no song with this title.
Do you know which one it is where they say it? Here's a little quiz for you.
It's a quiz, yeah, but
It's a
oh
spoken
gosh.
part. He speaks
Yeah.
it. It's not sung.
Is it Dark Days Are Coming?
No, it's Stainless
No.
Steel.
Oh yeah, you're right, yeah. Okay, but
Okay.
let's go back a little
Okay.
bit.
All right. Tell me about this
So
album. Why'd you recommend it? What's your relationship with Kate?
yeah. Kid Kapichi is a artist I discovered by accident. as a support act of Nothing But Thieves in 2022, and I was hooked up directly, and I admire them a lot. They're pretty, small band from also UK, and they are
I
very
listened on
like
this latest album.
pushing, energetic, punk rock, whatever genre. It's super interesting because this album is, now that there were some breaks in the history of the band and also from the singer Jack.
Mm,
So, A Fearless Nature was released in January, and last year in summer, the band split up. They
hmm.
decided to
They
go
pulled a One
apart.
Direction.
Same story, right? Yeah, same story. Something similar. So, yeah, the drummer and the guitarist left the band, but the bassist and the singer, Eddie and Jack, they said we want to get this band a future and stick to it and getting back in the business. And they not really replaced the other members. They really made the choice to say, no, we're the two guys left, being Kid Kapichi, and they replaced them just for touring and live music. They got some friends doing the drums and the guitar, so pretty cool. So that's very interesting. And also the album is
Do
having
you
a
know,
very
for the recording itself, are they recording, like, if they have drums or guitar, are they playing those instruments? Or are they hiring someone to record in the studio?
I think this album is the original band produced it still,
Okay,
because
okay.
I think the decision was quite after they started recording it, and
Okay,
they also said we will finish that together. And
okay,
what
okay.
what's coming in the future, I don't know. I think the guitarist Ben is still active in the production. Maybe he will
Okay.
support them, or still, I don't know. Let's see how this will evolve. But they did it still together. But you can really see it's an introspective album. It's very
Mhm.
different like the albums before. And also Kid Kapichi had a few interviews in a Kerrang magazine I read. It's also a very personal album because Jack had broke up with a long
Mm,
relationship, and there's a lot of pain and struggles on this album, which is a very personal story, I think. And this makes
mhm,
this album so special because before that album they were very like, outer topics, political topics, working
mhm.
class topics.
Yeah. Oh, I
So,
know.
yeah.
Sardines, that's the working class hero's anthem. So good.
Yeah, so I was really curious to get a listen to this album because I was so keen because I think the Neighborhood album, There Goes the Neighborhood, was the album we watched together live.
Mhm, mhm.
It was not surprising. It was okay. The Kid Capici style is still there. Okay, it's ongoing, but now it's a
I mean, it's
break point.
surprising for me, that was the first album of theirs I'd ever heard, so I had no idea what they were gonna be like.
Yeah, and I was so curious. And the first impression I got, I stayed up the night. I waited until midnight this
Did you
Thursday night.
really? Oh, you're so
And
cute.
I was waited until the clock says it's midnight, and then I put on my Spotify and listen to it. I can't wait.
You
And
are a true fan.
yeah, and I skipped the songs I already know just to have this feeling.
Skipped.
Yeah, it was midnight and I had to sleep, but
You're right.
I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah, yeah,
to make
fair.
sure that this album is my vibe because I was so hooked by the
Okay.
songs they already released, and I was so
Yeah.
curious and I want to get the whole feeling, and I just had a one listen to these songs I didn't like know
Mhm.
yet, and I was like, oh, okay, now I can
I
fall
can
asleep
relax.
because this will be great.
Well, what were your dreams after that? After you went to bed listening to music?
Yeah, I think they were showing up every now and then in my
Okay,
dreams
okay.
again.
Not
Today.
teaching a burlesque class in Berghain, I guess, but,
No, no,
something
no.
else.
Just
Okay. All right. So you weren't disappointed. Good. How
no.
would you rank this in terms of the other albums of theirs that you really like? Do you think this is a positive evolution, or is this something that you're like, it's still not my favorite, but it'll grow on me?
Yeah, it's right on point. I think it's a
Okay.
great album. And I don't want to say too much, but maybe it's on the top album list in this year, although
Uh,
it's just like January.
January coming in
Yeah.
hot. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I
Nice.
guess.
That's a
It's really
high that's a high
my
honor.
tone.
Nice,
Yeah,
great.
what was your
Okay.
first impression? As you know, Kid Kapichi from a gig,
Yeah, so I didn't really have any expectations. They released a couple songs earlier before the album came out. So Rabbit Hole, that one was so soft, and that song I think is so different from their other music that when I heard that, I was kind of thinking like, oh, okay, this is going to be a different album. It's going to be an interesting direction here. And I was maybe a little hesitant, but then when I heard some of the other ones like Stainless Steel and Shoe Size, I'm more okay, yeah, no, this is what we're here for. This is the good shit. So I did really like it. It's funny because you were saying that you found yourself more drawn to the music in the back half of the Louis album. I would say the same, that for me, the shift comes after Dark Days Are Coming, when I suddenly am like, oh yeah, now we're sinking into it. And I also really like the music in the back half of this album. And I think it's maybe not as high energy as the other albums. Yeah, the first I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the album itself. The one with that, like, brown and blue cover. It's got I Envy You and
Mm,
Sardines and FOMO Sapiens. That album, like, those are super high energy, like, dance to, sing to, scream to songs. And on this album, I don't really find that there's too much that I can imagine would be
mm.
a moshing song at a concert, so it's not as crazy hype as their earlier stuff, but still a great album, still easy to listen to, and, still inspiring. So I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I get your point. It was maybe that album was called Here's What You Could Have Once, was the one before the There
Oh,
Goes the
okay,
Neighbor.
sorry.
But I'm not sure.
What
Yeah, it
about
has to be.
what song on this album is there one song that you could mosh to?
Good question. I didn't ask myself this question. High energetic song you could mosh to.
Because I remember when we went to the concert for There Was the Neighborhood, it was 999 that everyone was going
Yeah.
insane for, and I was like, "What is this band? This is dope." But on this one, there's, like, and that song I didn't even really like that much on the album, but once I saw it
Yeah.
live, I was so impressed. So maybe there are songs that, yeah, listening to the album, we don't see how it's gonna be performed yet, but once it is
Yeah.
performed, it's gonna turn out to be, that crowd pleaser.
Maybe it's for me it would work with Intervention. It's the second song, very high
Mhm.
energy. You can really see the roots of Kid Kapichi are still there. You can discover.
I wonder if there's one. I need to look
I
at the
think
track
this
list
is
again.
a good energy to bring out live. But I agree, most of the songs are not too energetic, too much too.
Maybe Head Right. Maybe that one. I don't know. We'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
Interested to see how it's
Okay.
performed. Let's go through
So,
the tracks then, should we?
but first, I just want to say another graphic design topic
Yes, of course.
because
Resident
this is
expert.
also very interesting because after the band split up, they shifted all their visual works. They all shifted into black and white. Also photos on Instagram, the website, all the stuff. It's just black and white. And I think this is very consistent. Also on the album
Mm.
cover, you see it's like the upper half is
Yeah,
white
isn't
and
it
the lower
gray
part is
though?
black. And I think this is very good interpretation of the heavy part where they maybe had to deal with, right? And you are
Mhm.
just having not love or hate, the feeling is black and white. There's so much in between. And sometimes it's easier to say, oh, just having a black or white feeling. But yeah, I think it's a good interpretation to this album, this topic, the situation, to do all the stuff black and white and very consistent. I admire it a lot. Also, the
Very
videography.
different from the last one.
Yeah, the
The
videography is
last one with
also.
the, like, yellow, that was very different.
Yeah,
So
I
this is
didn't buy a t-shirt because it was yellow.
okay. I think this design is much more aesthetic, I think.
Yeah, can't wait to grab a black and white t-shirt. Oh
Okay.
yeah, this
Mhm.
looking
Already
so
planning your
good, and
merch?
I can't wait because the yellow and the oh no, I cannot wear yellow.
No?
But coming back to it, I watched also a few videos, and I think also they're very calm in a way, produced very calm,
Once
hands-on.
again, I
Because
did not watch the videos. I don't know. But
in the in the
you're gonna have to
past
talk on
they
it.
recorded videos with like they were having zombie makeups and yeah,
Okay.
running through sports fields, very like doing much effort into the videos. But now
Yeah,
it's super
okay.
calm and just Eddie and Jack hanging around somewhere, singing along, jamming. It's nice. It
Okay,
fits
cool.
together very good.
Nice. I haven't
Yeah.
watched ever a Kid Kapichi video. I don't think I've seen
Okay,
even any of
you
the
should
older
do
ones,
it.
so
It's
I
fun.
have no idea, but I will watch. I'm guessing when you're talking about soccer field, is this Let's Get to Work? Like, I could
No,
imagine that'd be a fun video.
it was from the Neighborhood album,
Yeah,
but I
that's
don't.
Let's Get to Work's on that one.
Yeah, I don't
Is
know
it like,
which
you'll
one
be in
was it.
first, let the nurse stick it in the cold. Let's get to
Yeah.
work. I could imagine
So
it's
I
that one, but
recommend to watch
anyways,
some
okay.
videos. They're
I'll watch
fun.
some videos then. That's my
Okay,
homework for
so
today.
let's get back into the tracks.
Let's go to the
What are
tracks
your
then.
thoughts?
All right, what are we starting with here? Leader of the Free World. After the first time I heard it, I don't know that I listened to it again. Not gonna lie. But do you have any thoughts on it? Was there anything spectacular about
Yeah,
that one?
I was at the point where I find to get away into this album after the song of Stainless Steel because Shoe Size
Mm-hmm.
was familiar, Stainless Steel was familiar, Intervention and Leader of the Free World I didn't catch up with from the beginning on. I think Leader of the Free World it's an okay song, but to open an album, I think it's a little bit too weak on this position.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
It's okay, I don't mind it, but it doesn't stick out to me. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's the Mosh song. That's
Yeah.
definitely gonna be the Mosh song. Yeah, so I'm excited to see that one performed live. I like that one. I haven't listened to it too much, but I can see it growing on me.
Yeah, I think it's crazy sometimes when you're listening to an album and then you listen to it again and again. I remember I was on a bike ride into the city where this song sticks out to me. I don't know why. It was just on
Mhm.
a bike ride. Maybe I could listen to it more actively and see, oh yeah, this is a good one. So intervention really grows on me after I listened a few
Nice.
times.
I listened to this album for the first time when I had the stomach flu and was treating myself to a walk around the block to go outside for the first time in a week. So yeah, it all just sounds like freedom to me. Shoe Size
Yeah.
I like. This one I really like. This was the single from beforehand. I really like the deeper voice in it, the what's your name? What's your shoe size? So I like this one. I'm excited to see this one perform live.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I overheard the song because it was featured on Instagram a lot.
Okay.
And I asked myself if there were not so many singles coming out before, would this album sound different to me? Because I'm so familiar with Shoe Size and Stainless Steel already, so
Yeah.
that I didn't skip them on the album, but this is too, okay, I know it. It's fine.
You
I
already
like
know
it.
it.
It's
Okay.
cool, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, so maybe in a few months you'll come back to it then.
Yeah.
Uh, Stainless Steel, yeah, another great one. I really like
Yeah,
this one
great
too.
one. As you said, I think this is the first song, and you can really hear the shift and the change in the style of their music.
But I think the singing in it still sounds quite consistent. Like I don't think they
Mhm.
took any big swings with their voices. Like Shoe Size, that like sounds very different. But this one, like the way he sings the I'm not me, I'm made of blood, I'm made of bone. Like that's kind of what you expect, like that drastic
Yeah,
change. And like that's what's happening, I guess, in some of the earlier songs too. So I like it. It sounds the same direction. Worst Kept Secret. That one's not my favorite. I don't like the line where it's like, I know you give it to me, psycho. Like, but this one's okay. This one's fine. Nothing wrong with it.
I
Do you have
love
any
this song.
specific thoughts to it? Yeah, okay.
I love the song. This was the place where this album turned for me because the upper part was
I need one more.
maybe the white part, the upper white part was, I
Okay.
don't mind, that's fine, okay. But now it's getting more dark for me.
Yeah.
And it's shifting, and I really think in this song is the first time you can experience a more softness in Jack's voice. I don't know why
Yeah.
is that, because it gives me goosebumps every single time I hear
Okay,
the
cool.
song, and I think it's, yeah, I could melt away while listening to the song. I like it a lot, but
Nice.
I don't know if it's my favorite. Let's see.
For me, the shift comes with Dark Days Are Coming. I love this song. I think it's so interesting. And I love the like slow pace. It's almost like a march. And it feels like you're walking towards the dark days. So I really like this one. And this was the first one I think that, no, actually, no. If You've Got Leg was the first one that I like wrote down. But yeah, I keep coming back to this one. And sometimes when I go back to listen to the album, I just started at this song. So yeah, I clearly like the second half better. Patience is fun. It's cute. Patience feels a bit like happier. Like this one should maybe be on the white section. I would have maybe put this above Dark Days Are
Yeah,
Coming. in the
Yeah.
ordering.
Good point. But my thoughts to Dark Days Are Coming are exactly the same. I love it. And now
Hmm.
I have an image in my head, like you walking out of the doors after your stomach flew and then,
Yeah, but no, that's good days are coming. Light days are
good days.
coming. Like,
Yeah,
yes, I'm
hopefully.
leaving the dark days behind me.
Great. Yeah, I love this song too.
Yeah.
It's so spooky, right?
Yeah, I love it.
I listened a lot to horror punk in my youth. It's a very
Yeah.
special genre, and
Hmm.
it reminds me a lot of this. And yeah, I really. It's the first time I listened to it, I could really admire the song from the
Yeah.
first tunes. I love it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. It's fun.
Same. A first listen that gets you. That's a
Yeah,
good one. Yeah. So patience, I think is fine. I am
yeah,
more into the kind of the more creepy, sinister sound. So this one wasn't so what I was looking for in this section, but it's fine.
yeah. I
If you've
think
got
this
legs,
is.
I really like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. Patience, I think you can see where the humor comes in and it's very melodic and ironically. And I think we can all relate to the situation he's singing. So can you relate to this topic too? Or
I mean,
not?
how would you describe the topic? I'm just thinking,
Yeah, the
I've
topic
got
is like
this
to keep calm, to not
feeling.
outrage, but you are having to sit around with your family and listening to the same conversations every time. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know if I relate to that topic. I don't feel like I'm
okay.
suppressing my anger too much, but it's usually if I'm driving somewhere or like at work, maybe, then when I'm suppressing my rage. So sure,
Yeah,
I get it.
okay. So
If you've
patience
got
for me
legs,
is
I like. Sorry, yeah?
A little bit upper, one
Yeah.
of our favorite songs, but not the
Okay.
best one. And yeah, if you've got legs, what are your thoughts?
I really like this song, and it immediately made me like I thought it was such an interesting title. And there was a movie that came out this year that is like I think is getting some Oscar nominations even. That's called If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. So as soon as I saw this on the track list, then I thought about that, and then
Mm,
I wanted to hear the song, and I was curious about it. But I think it's catchy. I like this one a lot. This was the first one that I heard, and I was immediately like, "Ooh, yeah, I want to listen to that again."
nice.
So
Yeah,
like
it
this one.
doesn't stick out to me yet. It's nice. It's building a bridge again to the more serious topic coming
Okay.
afterwards. But the song itself, it doesn't really, yeah, get me going so much.
Okay.
Although I got legs.
Head Head right, I really like. This one kind of gives me Gorillaz vibes. I already think that Jack's voice is kind of similar to Damon's, like the lead singer of Gorillaz. And yeah, this one, I liked the changes in the song. I like kind of that background, that like undercurrent of it. So this one I was a big fan of, and this one I've come back to this one a bit. What
Yeah,
about you?
great. Overlap again. So it's
Mm-hmm.
also a favorite song of mine. Because
Nice.
I can relate to every single word he's talking. So
Mm-hmm.
sleepless nights are also a thing I experience a lot. Even when I'm waiting for releases, I'm awake at
Yeah.
night. So yeah, and it's just very relatable for me, and I absolutely love the song.
Yep, same. Okay. Savior. I need to listen.
I'm very curious. What are your thoughts on this song?
Yeah, I like this one. I mean, this is, yeah, obviously a bit more low energy, a little bit more calmer, but I still think it's a nice song. And I think his voice sounds really good in it. So
Yeah,
this one, I didn't have any specific, like, I didn't have any really strong feelings one way or another, but I don't skip this one. This is fine. And I
yeah,
don't skip any
nice.
of them, of course, but I've never skipped a song in my life.
Glad. Yeah, I hadn't
No,
also
I like
hadn't a
this one
skip
too.
song yet here. So. Yeah, Savior. It
Yeah.
was the first impression for me was, oh my God, this is a very weak song. What is that? It sounds so unusual and so fragile. And I was a little bit irritated, but it took me some time. And then I started to admiring more and more because it's also very brave to get a song out which is very fragile, honest, and heartbreaking because I think that he's actually singing about his ex-girlfriend and
Hmm.
yeah, I think it grows on me. It's not the song I like the most or I relate a lot to, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it's yeah, it has found its place on this album, which is very good. I think it's a soft tune, a ballad. It was necessary to bring out this side also, like not just the pushing and the energy, also the
The
fragile
fragile side.
side.
Yeah. Okay. The last one. I think this is your favorite one. You were obsessed with this song when it first came out. And I think it's okay. It's grown on me a little bit. Like when I first heard it, it was not my favorite. I think of the three that were released ahead of time, this was my least favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I like Shoe Size. Then I would say Stainless Steel, and then Rabbit Hole. But it's grown on me. It's fine. I think it's a nice song to close the album too. I think it kind of, brings it back. But you tell me your thoughts because I know you were obsessed with this one.
I think I would say it's very different direction for me because Shoe Size was okay, yeah, I don't mind. It doesn't get me going so much, but Rabbit Hole was, oh my God, oh, what is that? I'm so
Hmm.
curious and it really hooked me directly.
How'd you down the rabbit hole?
Yeah, I was in the rabbit hole, of course.
That's right. The
And
rabbit hole.
when it came out, I was like checked where in the album it was its position, and it was the very last song. And I thought, oh my God, this is such a good song. Why are they putting it on the last position? And after I listened to the album a lot of times, I think it's the right place because it's such an interesting feeling in the song. I read an interview about Jack explaining a little bit the topics and the situation about the song, and he said it's like the point where you, yeah, right before to fall into the rabbit hole, but you actually
Mm.
hold yourself back in a way. And I think it's a very optimistic and hopeful ending for this dark album. And this is
Hmm.
the feeling I like. I like so much because he's singing about struggling and having a head in 2 million pieces. And oh gosh, but it's still so optimistic and hopeful in the
Hmm.
soundings. And this is a very catchy song. It's really doing so much for me. I like it. I love it. And
Great.
it's a perfect way to close the album. Yeah. To
Great.
be more hopeful and optimistic for the future albums they are coming.
The dark days that are coming. But on that topic, like, do you, in terms of placement on an album, do you think that really, like, when you think of your favorite songs on like albums that you know very well, do they fall within a certain pattern? Are you more liking songs at the beginning, in the middle, the end, or is it just totally random? Because I would say I feel like the hit song or like the single are often usually in the middle somewhere.
Mm.
And I wonder if that's on purpose. We'll introduce something new and then we'll give them a little treat, something that they already know, and then we'll put the more experimental stuff. Do you think there is a formula as to how the albums are built?
Yeah, kind of. I would agree what you said. That is even to get a good warm up and then putting up the
Mm.
powerful singles you want to get heard. And yeah, I, I I always skip the last song of that Letters album from the
I
Rasmus,
skipped the
the
last song in a
funeral
lot of
song.
albums.
Oh gosh, this,
The problem is if there's a song I really like towards the end and there's
yeah,
only like a couple after it, then
yeah,
usually I'll just end it at the one that I really like and I'll just move on. But yeah, which
yeah.
is not always the best.
Yeah, I think it's as we are admiring albums and listening to it from the start to the end, I think it's about the position because otherwise it would interrupt the flow. And this is what I had
Yeah.
with the Louis Tomlinson album, the the one I really disliked. Wait, what's the title again? Dark to
Light to
Light.
dark. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was not on the right position for me this way to admire the whole album because it would be plays better like the Kid Kapichi Savior. It's
Mm-hmm.
right before the end. It's more like a
Right
ballad, and
before the big
then get a good closing. Yeah, that
conclusion.
would be
Yeah.
better. So I would say it's important to make a decision, and I think it's also not a important decision anymore for the artist,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, but I think it's good when they make a decision how to order it.
Yeah, I mean, I always want to hear an album the first time how it was intended to. So I always want to hear it in the order and then I'll build my own playlist around it. But definitely good because, yeah, as you said, they tell a story most of the time or in some way. So it's
Yeah,
art. You should
and
consume it the way the artist intended.
I'm super curious if they like sitting in front of the titles and rearrange it all the time
Oh,
and
I'm
discussing.
certain. I'm certain. I'm
Yeah.
certain. I can't remember. I think I told you once that there was a Lady Gaga interview I heard where she explained how she does the title, like how she orders it, and I totally forget now what she'd said, but whatever. Anyways, okay. Last thoughts with the album. Are we going to the concert? We already got the tickets, so yes, we are. And I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
So everyone who's not knowing Kid Kapichi yet, get into it, get a listen, and if you can grab tickets, go out for it because it's a
Go see
massive
him.
experience,
It's a
and
great show.
yeah,
Great show,
always
great
worth it.
guys, great time. Looking forward to it. Question of the day. Do you have a question of the day, Isa?
Oh no, which one
Oh, did I
do
miss
we
something? Damn.
put on the
Oh, right,
playlist?
yes. I would say head right.
Head right. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm glad with this decision. Oh my god,
great.
good
Okay,
choice.
good, good. What about you? What's your favorite one?
Yeah,
Rabbit Hole?
I was so I knew Rabbit Hole was my favorite before the release came, but then I
Mm-hmm.
would say I would create space to get other songs the opportunity to get my favorite song, but
Okay.
unfortunately, I would say I will still stick to Rabbit Hole, yeah.
All right.
But
Well,
Head
there we
Right is
go.
also on the top list.
We've got Head Right, we've got Imposter. We've heard some great music today. Really enjoyed those two albums. Looking forward to our next ones. But first, what is your question of the day? Have you got one for me?
Yeah, I have a question of the day for you, and I made a little bit of thoughts in my mind. And after I listened to Savior, and I remember there was also another song about his ex-girlfriend, Angeline was the song from the last album. I asked myself, if someone you are falling for would write a song for you, how would it sound? What is the genre? What is the mood? What is the topic? What are the lyrics? Do you have any idea, any guess what this song would sound like? So it doesn't have to actually be Niels write
Yeah,
your
yeah,
song,
yeah.
maybe Brent Flowers or someone else. So what if you
I wish.
can make a wish? What would it sound
um,
like?
well, the first thing I will say is I don't know because if they're writing it, I don't want to have any input. I want to be completely surprised. But I am thinking then about some songs that I like that are about falling in love and not the songs about like, oh, yes, I love you. We're already in a established thing or whatever, or, breakup songs or anything, but a song about specifically falling in love. And maybe it's a bit of a recency bias as well. But the song that I think right now that I think captures that feeling so well is "Piece of Heaven" by Tame Impala, because it's singing about being in his crush's bedroom for the first time, and he's like, "You think it's messy, you're embarrassed by it, but, like, this is a piece of heaven, like, I am just so happy to be here, like, I wouldn't wanna be anywhere else in the world," and there's even, like, a voicemail from I guess, from his wife, who was his, like, childhood teenage crush as well, and of her saying, like, "Oh, like, I felt like confetti or something," and I'm like, "That's so cute." Just, that feeling where you're like, "Oh my god, my heart is gonna explode. I'm just so happy and so excited, and everything is so new and fresh, and, like, I'm just blissed out," and that's what that song sounds like to me, and I think it's a really cute song, and yeah, I would hope "Falling in Love with Me" feels like that. So, I
Oh,
would hope the song would be written like that but again, I'm not picky. If anyone wants to write me a love song, go ahead. I'll take anything. What about you? Do
okay.
you have an answer?
Yeah, I had a few thoughts, and I think it's very similar to what you said, but I would say I think my song should be more transport the emotions through the melody, like
Mhm.
dream pop, shoegaze is doing it for me. So I think this is the most important part to feeling the sound. So the feelings you feel for a person should transported by the sound. This is more
Mhm.
important to me than the lyrics. So yeah, so the emotional expression should be done with
Do you
it.
have an example, though? Is there one you like?
Um,
Something that makes
I don't
you
know
think of
why.
falling in love?
Yeah, I don't have a specific song in my mind, but I remember that the Always album recommended to me had a few of these feelings. I don't know
Mhm.
a specific song, but the album itself. Also, these she not my lady.
But you know
It has to be a little bit more easygoing, not too deep, not too dark. Easygoing, shoegazy dream pop song would be nice. And so I don't want a reduced acoustic song, right? Just one with
Mhm.
guitar. That's
Yeah,
too
yeah, yeah.
not too much for me. And I also would say that the lyrics could be more like metaphoric, like you said,
Yeah.
like I'm in someone's bedroom. This is also what I dislike on the other songs from Louis Tomlinson, Dark to Light. It's like, I don't want to hear like that you're admiring looking through my eyes. Okay, go for it. Yeah. But
Mhm.
I think when it's a creative way to say it, like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
the first time in your bedroom, a good example for this.
Yeah.
Like a tiny little thing you see in this person or you feel with this
Mhm.
person, that would be great. Yeah, great. Yeah.
All right, hint, hint. Anyone who wants to write us some love songs, go ahead.
Please.
So, okay, so now it's time to recommend an album that we'll be listening to discuss next time. And yeah, Isa, so we just did a couple new releases that we were going in blind. Let's, do you have something from the vault, an old kind favorite of yours that I can listen to?
Yes, I have.
Well, okay, what are you recommending to me?
Yeah. I'm not sure if you knew this album already, but if you do, so just stick to it again.
So excited to hear.
It's a band I already seen live, and it's a band which are opening the more indie genre way music to me,
Huh?
and it's a classic one. It's Two Door Cinema Club, and I would
Okay, cool.
recommend you Tourist History. It's their first album. I'm
All right,
curious, what
sick.
are your thoughts? And there's
I don't
also
know them that well, so I'm looking
Oh,
forward to
okay,
this.
great, great. I thought you were familiar with them. So, and there's another,
I know the name. I know a couple
yeah.
songs, but I'm not really
Oh,
familiar with them. So
I
looking
think you
forward to
will
this.
love it. It's, yeah, it's
Probably.
great. And there's also a song I like a lot. The song is called "Changing of the Seasons," and I will send it over to you just to have an
Okay.
additional song. It's a later
Little
release,
bonus.
but I love it a lot. So yeah, this is my
Okay, sick.
recommendation for you.
Nice. Looking forward to that. Okay. I struggled a little bit. So there's an artist that I quite liked. I don't really like her newer stuff. Not really familiar with it. I haven't been listening to it. Her first 3 albums I really, really liked. The third one I love, and I'm thinking this is the one I'm gonna recommend to you. But the second one has a very famous song on it, and I'm wondering your thoughts on that song. So I can't decide which one, also because yeah, okay. I'm recommending an album by Licky Lee. Do you know Licky Lee?
Yeah, by
Okay.
name, yeah. A few songs I
Yes.
like what is the uh
That's I Follow Rivers, and that's the very famous song on the album Wounded Rhymes. But I'm actually gonna give you I Never Learn as an
okay, is it
album.
before or after this?
This is after. This was her third album. This came out in 2014, and it's a short one, but it's got some great songs on it. And I think it's from her first album that has a song you would know because it's on the Twilight soundtrack, and I know you're a
Okay.
Twilight fan. Yeah. Is it Time Flies? I don't know. I can't remember. There's one song she also had on the Twilight soundtrack, but I'm
Yeah,
giving you
cool.
I Never Learn. I'm excited to hear. I know you don't normally like higher female voices, but she also sings kind of softly. So I'm excited
Yeah.
to hear how you think about it, and I'm looking forward to discussing with you next time.
Yeah. Thank you.
So,
I'm super curious. I was a little bit afraid of hearing you telling about a woman, but as I know
mhm.
her voice already, I think I will pretty good get along with it.
You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be
Yeah.
okay. Feel safe. All right, very good. Well then, Isa, thank you for the recommendation as always. Thank you for a great musical experience. And to the rest of you, thank you for listening along. I hope you guys also checked out the albums. I hope you enjoyed them. And I hope you check out the next albums we're going to be talking about. Until then, don't skip. And what's our what's our sign off?
We listen and we don't skip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See you next time in the Longplayers Club, and don't skip. Thanks,
Skip.
guys. Bye.
Okay. If you listen to this episode until this point, thank you so much for listening, and please support us with a like, subscribe, or share. We would appreciate it a lot to bring this podcast out to more people. Thank you.